ya kwamba pesa zibaki kwa wabunge, na hiyo itasaidia sana. Asante.
This was a very noble idea which is assisting Kenyans, started with Mwai Kibaki. And I know very well, during the time of Mwai Kibaki, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga was part of that team. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga was part of the team that brought CDF. I don't know where has things changed in his mind. I want to ask Honorable Raila Odinga, you are not going to school using bursary yourself. You don't have children who are using bursary themselves. Neither are your grandchildren able to use bursary because you are able. Allow this noble fund to serve Kenyans.
Mimi kwa maoni yangu kama mama, wamama wajane, watoto yatima, mambo ya bursary imesaidia sana. Tangu CDF ianze 2013, tumeona faida ya CDF kukua kwa wabunge. Kama mama mjane na mayatima wote, naomba CDF iendelee. Kama hapa Sirisia tumeona maendeleo, barabara zimejengwa na CDF.
Sasa na wazazi wameshukuru sana na wamesema CDF iendelee kwa sababu inafanya kazi nzuri kwa shule. Ingekuwa ni wazazi wanajenga, tungekaa sana, tungechukua muda kabla tupate jengo la aina hii tuko nayo leo.
Anzishe ward fund yake, pia apatie MCA wake, lakini sisi Dagoretti South kama constituency sisi tunasema wacha NGCDF ifanye kazi.
Saidika sana, madarasa yameongezwa, watoto wetu walikuwa wanafinyana kwa madarasa kwa sababu namba ya watoto wetu ni kubwa sana. Na kwa sababu ya GCDF hizi watoto wanakaa vizuri kwa madarasa, hata mumeona yenye leo mheshimiwa wetu ametufungulia, tuko na furaha sana.
Well, I don't know what you think about the NGCDF. In one way, I must say the NGCDF has transformed constituencies in the sense that members of parliament have created, they've done classes, they've done a lot using their CDF fund. I'm not very sure if, I know the constitution says that, these kind of things have been taken down, devolved to the county governments. I'm not very sure whether if this money is given to the governors, they'll use it effectively for what they're supposed to, because the governors have not performed very well with the monies that they've been given so far. So I'm not very sure whether they will do it. I'd rather it stays with the MPs so that they can be able to do what they've been doing so far. Elsewhere, President William Ruto received the report on the recruitment of nominees for the position of chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, from the IEBC selection panel at State House, Nairobi. The panel, chaired by Nelson Makanda, concluded its month-long interviews on the 25th of April after interviewing candidates for both the chairperson and commissioner positions. By law, the selection panel is required to submit the names of top 2 candidates for the chairperson position to the president, who is expected to nominate one for the parliamentary vetting and approval. In addition, the panel has proposed 9 names for the commissioner position, from which the president is to nominate 6 individuals for parliamentary approval. All right, let's hope that we get the right candidate for this job so that the 2027 election can be an election that people will say was conducted well, and we can improve the confidence that people should have in institutions. Now, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula led a delegation of members of parliament and senators to the Nairobi residence of the slain MP Kasipul constituency Charles Ongondo Were to mourn with the family and friends. The MPs called for speedy investigations to identify what led to the shooting of the MP and who are the culprits involved in the same. MP Were is expected to be buried on Friday at his rural home in Kasipul constituency, Homa Bay County.
and we stand here to urge the agencies of administration of justice, the DCI, the General Police, and all those involved, ending with the DPP, to leave no stone unturned until we catch up with those who committed this cowardly act of pumping several bullets in the body of our Member of Parliament. We want to be open-minded so that investigations can be carried out freely and fairly, and as Parliament we will be available to assist in every way we can with any information that may be helpful, that the investigators may seek, so that we find a way to bring the perpetrators of this act to the arms of justice, so that we can be able to make sure that those who live by crime must face the music. As a House of Parliament, we are actively involved in the preparations for the interment of our colleague, and we have put together a team that is working with the family. The team is being chaired by the member for Teso, Honorable Oku Kaunya. We have several other members who are working together with the family and any other agencies that are involved.
Our responsibility as a leadership and as friends is to ensure that we find the answers that I am sure all of us are seeking. So we will work together in that journey, just assuring of the support of the party, the support of all of us who are its colleagues, both in the National Assembly and in the Senate.
Becky never used to miss a day at the gym.
Yes.
So we are always there. And from that point is when we started interacting, advice every single day. Someone will always call and tell you, come and sit here. Then they'll have some long, beautiful stories.
All right. Now, President William Ruto embarked on a two-day tour of Narok County by opening major transformative projects including tannery, 2 fresh produce markets, and an international airport. The president urged Kenyans to ignore critics and naysayers spreading falsehood that his government is yet to achieve anything. Governors Patrick Ndutu of Narok and Joseph Lenku of Kajiado say the Ma community will continue to support the leadership of President Ruto because it's inclusive and transformative.
Hawa viongozi wetu kutoka governor, member of parliament na wale wengine wote wamekubali tushirikiane. Na mimi nimesema siasa bure ya mambo ya ukabila na dini na mambo ya chuki na mambo ya migawanyiko tuachane nayo. Na ndio sababu nilitafuta Raila Amolo Odinga aka Baba, nikamwambia sawa, tukakubaliana na yeye tukomeshe na tumalize ukabila Kenya hii, tukomeshe na tumalize chuki taifa letu la Kenya, na tuache migawanyiko ili tuweze kuungana, kwa sababu umoja ni nguvu. Tuungane, tushughulike na mambo ya maendeleo ya taifa letu. Tujenge affordable housing, vijana wapate kazi. Tujenge masoko, kina mama waendelee na biashara. Tuhakikishe kwamba kilimo inasimama sawa sawa. Hapa cereals board mulikuwa mnaununua mbolea 5,000, 6,000, lakini tumeteremsha bei kwa sababu ya kujua umuhimu wa kilimo. Sasa hapa cereals mnanunua mbolea na 2,500. Ni kweli ama si kweli?
Sisi tumeshikana kama broad based government, ile serikali ambaye ni ya mapana na marefu. Hii watu wote ya Narok tunaenda kwa broad base. Ile maupuzi mko nayo huko muache. Sisi tumesema tunasimama kimoja, ama namna gani? Hii vijana wote wafanye kazi katika hii housing ambayo inajengwa hapa. Sisi wote tumesema tunapita njia moja ya broad based government. Inua mkono kama umekubaliana na Ledama.
Well, the airport, international airport in Narok, I'll wait and see that. That can be a very good idea if it's implemented. But let's wait and see. He said by next year. Okay, let's see. 4 Kenyan filmmakers who were recently apprehended over their alleged involvement in the Blood Parliament documentary by the British Broadcasting Corporation BBC have been summoned to appear at the Directorate of Criminal Investigation headquarters in Kiambu Road. The 4 filmmakers were arrested on Friday in dubious circumstances after a raid on their studios in Karen by the police before spending the night at Pangani and Muthaiga police stations, respectively. However, after much furor and spending a night in the police cells, the 4 were released on Saturday on a free bond in a development confirmed by their lawyer, Ian Mutiso.
However, the DCI summoned them to come to the headquarters yesterday. So we came with them, we represented them. However, the police refused to give them their items back. And this is against the law. There's no order. Once they were released, they were supposed to be given their phones back and their laptops back and their CPUs that they use for work. And this is against the law. They are holding those items against the law, and it should be called. We are calling against what they are doing, because one, they are denying these boys from continuing with their businesses, and they are actually stopping the work that they are doing of filmmaking. So we are calling against the DCI and its leadership for what it has done, and further, even them summoning today, it's against their liberty. They are in a constant state of being summoned in the police. Coming, so they have no freedom. They have not been given any court date. As you can see, they have a following, they have a support base, and we have heard emphatically from the DCI that there are no summons that are prevailing in terms of the 4 individuals. Furthermore, there is no warrant of arrest that has been preferred against any of the 4 of them. So they are not even persons of interest at this stage. They are not suspects, and we would like them to essentially receive back their property so that they can continue to do what they do, which is essentially to make independent films, which, as far as we understand, is not a crime in this country.
Kindly, just release the documents to them so that they continue earning their own living. But we have the anxiety and our hearts are.
Well, that's such an unfortunate thing. Instead of correcting whatever it is that was raised by the documentary, they're arresting the people who made the documentary. Wow. Now, conflict is escalating between Kenyan teachers and the government as plans to implement a revised hardship allowance policy takes center stage. The move, which could strip thousands of teachers of their allowances, has stirred outrage within the country. Educators and now fear that the new changes will demoralize them, directly impacting their performance and morale. The Kenya Teachers in Hardship and Arid Areas Welfare Association has taken a firm stand against the changes, accusing the government of perpetuating neglect towards teachers in remote and difficult areas. The association maintains the policy shift endangers the welfare of teachers who have long worked under adverse conditions marked by insecurity, inadequate infrastructure, and social isolation.
Bado usalama hauko sawa. Kama ni mambo ya transport na infrastructure, mabarabara bado iko vile ilikuwa, haija improve sana, na ukosefu wa maji na mambo kama yale. So mimi ningetaka kuuliza serikali inapofikiria kuondoa hardship allowance, ichunge sana, isiguze Laikipia. Hawezi ukakompea Laikipia na mtu wako Njiri, mtu wako kule Kiambu. Hapa sisi tunapigana na verdicts kila wakati, na hardship haistahili kuondolewa.
Serikali watakapotoa hizo hela, watarajie kwamba walimu wote watahama katika sehemu hii ya Elgeyo Marakwet, kwa sababu hata kufikia shule kama Litere kupitia mahali kama Kapkobil ni ngumu sana. Walimu tu wamejitolea kwa sababu wako kwa sababu hii kazi ya walimu imechukuliwa kama ni jambo ambalo Mwenyezi Mungu mwenyewe Yesu Kristo alifanya. Ndipo wanajitoa hivyo. Kwa hivyo naona kwamba wasifanye hivyo, naona walimu wote watatoroka na kwenda kwingine. Mahali penye kuna usalama, mahali huwa nashangaa, which factors do you consider when going a place an area? A place where you cannot go moving even during the day with no peace. So naambia serikali wafikirie vizuri kwa sababu hiyo hatukubali.
Juzi tumeona Prime Cabinet Secretary akisema kwamba hardship allowance itatolewa katika sehemu hii ya Elgeyo Marakwet County. Mimi kama kiongozi, I want to condemn that in the strongest terms possible. Elgeyo Marakwet County imekuwa na hardship allowance. Civil servants, walimu wamekuwa na hardship allowance kwa sababu mtu akitoka mbali hawezi kukubali kuenda mpaka Tot, mahali kumekuwa na mambo ya insecurity kama kuna hardship allowance. So kwa hivyo walimu wengi, hiyo hardship ikitolewa, civil servants, hata walimu ambao hawawezi kuenda sehemu hili, na inamaanisha kwamba itahujumu mambo ya masomo na mambo ya development katika sehemu hii yetu ya Elgeyo Marakwet.
Right, let's take a look at the newspapers, and we start with the Star newspaper. Matiang'i Ruto mark 2027 tough in top job race. Now, both camps have ring-fenced their strongholds. And then there was an audit that was done on the Kenyan economy, and the economy is not doing that well according to what they say. They say the downturn is that we have high interest rates and then lack of jobs have hit the economy. Kenya's economic growth slowed down from 5.7 to 4.7 in 2024. Excuse me. Manufacturing sector growth improved to 2.8% in 2024, up from 2.22 in 23, and then exports increased by 10.4 rather, to 1.1 trillion. Imports grew by 3.3 to 2.7 trillion. Tourism, you need to check the newspaper and just get exactly how the economy is doing. And then there's also another report that came out saying if police have a problem with you, you're likely to disappear. Page 3, how the Vatican makes its conclave smoke signal. So people will be waiting for the white smoke. Game of numbers as Ruto Matiang'i axis flex muscles. And then CS Mutua needs to do a lot of explaining, because these jobs he was talking about, people have suffered a lot. And he says we didn't con Kenyans but have delays in overseas jobs placements. Really? Stage set for clash as governors reject MP's 405 million budget. Then we have talk of the town. Cherotich, Yavi to reignite rivalry in steeplechase showdown at Doha Diamond League. Malisana na hiyo chukua standard. It's Haiti, dead or alive. It's talking about a soldier who's been missing after their convoy was attacked by the gangs in Haiti. The families really complain they've not been updated on what is happening. And you know, right now there's a contingent of some of the soldiers who went to Haiti was expected to come back to the country. If he was alive, if he was safe, he would be one of those who probably would be coming back. Right suspects in court. How face mask disguises threaten justice. These are the suspects who are arrested over the murder of Kasipul Kabondo MP Charles Ongondo Were. Then family of missing officer in anguish as state remains silent. Mau forest to be fenced off to stop grabbing. Okay. Then we got the back page. Odegaard calls for team unity as Ghana's eye place in the final. Odegaard, Ateo. Then we have the Daily Nation, job puzzle. These are the jobs that CS Mutua had promised people, and guys have been suffering. President Ruto has said affordable housing plan has created 250 jobs. Okay. Yeah, maybe. The construction is going on though. And it's been done by people. They say the economy created the fewest jobs since the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, according to the 2024 economic survey, which also revealed the slowest growth rate since COVID-19 disruption. But it is the finding by the government survey that jobs in the construction sector reduced last year that has cast doubt on the credibility of the high creation features top officials have routinely attributed to the affordable housing. Puzzle over Ruto's 250,000 affordable housing openings. Kenyan economy created the fewest jobs since 2020. But the higher level, the people in elite jobs in government, well, it looks like they made good money. Economy grew at lowest pace. Spike in chest-related illnesses, malaria and skin condition. Names of 32 banned job agencies revealed. Team to oversee 2027 election selected. APRO support as public hearings on CDF and other funds are held. Then we have the back page where we have MISC to host football match for the first time in 607 days. That is the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Kaboom! All right, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we look at Mindset Wednesday as we look at some of the things that affect your mind and affect your ability to achieve what you need to achieve. All right?